Hello everybody, Sign Ninja 4444 here. I'm not doing a Bionicle review or anything. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. Today we're going to be preparing ourselves for the solar eclipse of May 20th, 2012, which is tomorrow. And of course that's in United States. If you live in Asia or East Asia, it's going to be on the May 21st because Asia's a day ahead of the US. So yeah. Now I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna take some pictures of it, and I'm gonna be telling you how you can see it. First, I'll show you. I'll put on the screen a path of where the eclipse goes. As you can see by that diagram, wherever that shadow that moves past the Earth is in fact where you'll be able to see it. If you're in the red dot, you'll be able to see annularity. Now, so yeah, this is an annular eclipse, meaning that the moon's going to be slightly smaller than the Earth, making it, you'll be able to see what people call the annulus, or ring of fire, around the sun at annularity. So yeah. Now let's go over some of the things I'm going to be using to see the eclipse. And most of it is in this bag here, including the battery charger. Alright? So yeah, first things first is, right here in the bag are 5 pairs of solar eclipse viewing glasses. What I'm going to use these for is, here's a little fact. Never look at the eclipse with a naked eye, because even though most of the sun is being blocked out, it could very well cause blindness. That's the number one do not. But anyway, these glasses will keep my eyes safe when I look at it. I've looked at the sun many times outside of the eclipse with these glasses, and I have not gone blind. These make it perfectly safe to look at it. Alright, those are the glasses. Now, battery charger for my camera, because I'm going to take some pictures, and I want to make sure I don't run out of battery, so yeah. And then camera and battery and tripod are is basically what I'm using to film this movie you're watching right now. And I can't view it in the camera range. So my regular digital camera, my battery, which goes in the battery charger, and a tripod. So yeah. Another thing we have in here are some memory cards, some of which don't even work anymore or have very little space on it, which I'm gonna save the pictures to and put on my computer. And last but not least is a floppy disk. And you're wondering, why do you need a floppy disk? And it's not for computer file storage. What this is for is, I'm gonna put it right in front of the camera lens like this, and no, it's not supposed to be showing a reflection. Alright, so just a sec. And so yeah, it's not supposed to be showing a reflection. But anyway, what this is going to do is it's going to keep my camera safe from the sun. So yeah, and here are some test pictures just to show you what it looks like. Here's some test pictures that I already took of the sun, and it's not on the eclipse. This is a day before the eclipse in the United States. So here are some test pictures. As you can see, the pictures are all in a reddish brownish color. The reason why is because that's the color that the floppy disk made them when I put it in front of my camera. And note is that those are not really good quality pictures. And floppy disk doesn't make the best solar filter for the sun. In fact, it's a horrible solar filter. But still, the only reason why I'm using a floppy disk is because it's all I have in my disposal to keep my camera safe with. Anything else I would have to buy or have my parents buy for me. Alright, yeah. Yeah, those are all the tools those are all the tools. Now let's go over the do's and don'ts of the eclipse. Alright, now let's go over the do's and don'ts. Let's start with the do's first. Number 1. Do always make sure you keep your eyes safe. Because even for a fraction of a second, if you look at the sun without eye protection, you could go blind. No joke. So yeah. The second do is always make sure you have all of your equipment with you days in advance before the eclipse. Because if it's in the last minute, you may miss it. And believe me, I do in fact have eclipse fever. Do number 3. Always make sure you know where the eclipse is going to happen where you live. Obviously, there's time difference, and so eventually it's not going to be in the same time for every place it covers. So in my place, it's going to happen Sunday around 5. It's going to last from like 5 to. It's going to start between 5 and 6 o'clock p.m. and end around 7 and 8 p.m. So yeah, that's that. And always make sure you use time converters if they use UTC time, which they probably do. I live in Western United States, so I go by Pacific time. So yeah. Now let's go over the don'ts. Here's a little rephrase of one of the do's. Don't ever look at the sun with a naked eye. I said that this is the 3rd time. I just wanted to make sure you know it, because it can cause blindness. You can't. The only reason to view the eclipse safely, you'll either need to use solar filters that would keep your eyes safe from the sun, or you'll need to view it in an indirect way, meaning you see the eclipse, but you don't actually look at the sun. You actually project an image of the sun onto the ground or something, and the sun would always be the same. The projection would always be the same shape that the sun is. And here's don't number 2. Don't ever wait until the last minute to get all of your stuff together. You always want to make sure all your stuff is together days in advance. You don't want to be scurrying in the last minute to check everything. And so yeah. Here's don't number 3. Never expose your camera to the direct sun, because the camera lens can act like a magnifying glass and destroy the camera. So that's why I'm using the floppy disk. So use some sort of solar filter to keep your camera safe just as well as your eyes. Camera is just as susceptible to the sun damage as your eyes are. So yeah, those are all the do's and don'ts. Now it's time for me to go, and I've taught you a lot of things about the solar eclipse, and I am going to make a video of the pictures I took tomorrow when I film it. And so yeah, remember the rules. Never look at the sun, and always make sure you have all your stuff together days in advance. And this is kind of a little late for you newbies, so yeah. And just as a side note, remember if you live in Europe or some place like that, you're not going to be able to see it. People that are going to see it are people in East Asia, Pacific Islands or Pacific Ocean, and United States. If you're not in any of those regions, you're not going to be able to see it. Like if you're in Europe, you won't be able to see it, or Africa, or Antarctica, or you get the picture. So yeah. Anyway, happy eclipse sight.